as men.
Oh, yeah, you do. Stop screaming about it already.
But we didn't have rights for so long, and there's so much that fucking sucks. I want to scream about it.
I know you want to scream about it, but I'm fucking sleepy.
Well, then get up and make me a sandwich.
If you buy the fucking meat, I'll make the sandwich.
I'll go buy the fucking meat.
No, you buy the meat, I'll make the fucking sandwich.
I'll go buy the fucking meat.
Yeah, you make it. What do you want?
This is the police. We have a domestic violence case, sir. Are you beating your wife?
I wish.
Tell me about it, right? Let's beat her up together, huh? What do you say?
That's a good cop.
God damn it. Welcome to the brighter side. Yeah, we're talking about feminists and men's rights activists. We got a couple of them here. It's going to be a rock and roll fun time.
Yeah, Mars versus Venus tonight, the brighter side.
Yeah, do you want to do it alphabetically or Venus and Mars?
Oh, I didn't realize
Ladies first or alphabetically?
Yeah, ladies first, because I value my life.
Oh, gosh. Well, we've got Katherine Timpf here, works for Fox News.
Hello.
Hi, Catherine. What shows can we be seeing you on?
A lot of them. Well, I'm on the Greg Gutfeld show every Sunday at 10 p.m.
I'm so pissed off
It's a party.
about it.
It's awesome. It's a rockin' party.
It's a great show. It's a great name for a man who runs of an opinionated show.
And you also write for the
National Review. Yes.
Nice.
Fuck yeah, that's awesome.
So in one or two sentences, just to kind of sum it up, what is your whole stance on feminism?
Just one or two sentences.
Yeah.
Just one or two.
Yeah, just real quick.
Well, I obviously think that things are harder for women. However, at the same time, it's gotten a little bit ridiculous with the things that they're complaining about, so that you can't complain about legitimate issues. So I'm more of like a salt and pepper feminist than like a Jezebel feminist.
Oh, I like that.
I can see that.
You see, because there are a lot of women that are like, you can't say that. I'm like, but you're pointing the finger at somebody saying you can't say something. Somebody's going to point the finger at you someday saying you can't say something.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, I do.
Exactly. And we also got Louie Bee over here.
Hey, how you guys doing?
What's going on?
Now, in the same, like one or few sentences, what sums you up as like a men's rights, men power thing?
I do believe that now in today's society, men are being oppressed, and yeah, everyone gives the laugh. Yeah, I mean, we get like everyone's heard Bill Burr's his bits on marriage. Divorce, and other things like how there's a difference in how the law treats.
What's an example?
Easiest example: if it was if a male teacher molests a child, he does almost life. If a female teacher molests a child, she gets slapped on the wrist and probably a deal on lifetime.
My stance is no one should molest anybody, by the way.
Well, exactly.
An extremist stance, Kat.
But if the best possible molestation scenario, I think we all can agree, in the best possible scenario, it's a woman with a younger boy.
But I think Louie, what Louie's pointing out here,
yeah.
Sweet Jesus. I think what Louie's pointing out here is that there is a difference, and there is an unfortunate difference where the molestation still occurs. That being said, I had several very attractive middle school teachers that if they did pin me in a corner, I would say, yes, please.
Miss Perry was so beautiful. Middle school gym.
We had a Miss Bish.
Miss Bish.
Bish. And then like when
she had the dish.
When one of the older, like how like kids like in middle school or like get through puberty a little faster. There was one kid, Jason Seifert. I don't mind using his full name. And he got really angry that she rejected his advances basically. And he goes, you know what? You're more like Miss Bitch. And the whole class in 7th grade got quiet, and we were like,
he finally said it.
He did it. Somebody actually did it. And then he got sent away, but then she was very sweet about it.
Oh, she was Miss Biash.
Biash.
I was in love with my stamp collector teacher.
Stamp collector teacher?
He just did an extracurricular thing with stamp collecting, and I thought it was really hot.
What happened? You went to white privilege high? What was
I don't
that?
know. I think it was just like an after-school kind of thing. He just had us in his basement.
What was your favorite stamp?
Oh, in your basement.
I forget. I burned them all.
Exactly. I think you should retract your white privilege high statement from Amber.
But I would say that that dudes tend to sleep with younger women more than women sleep with younger men.
Absolutely.
You'd be surprised. I mean, look at the news now. It's getting more and more, reported now. And fortunately nowadays women are starting to do serious time for molesting kids, but it's still uneven.
This is great.
You
are
great.
really fighting a good fight right now.
Good for you. I really appreciate this.
This is amazing.
But especially around the world, it's generally more typical for women to be child brides and the man to be much, much older.
Yes.
And that's like zero
So
repercussions.
are we talking about feminism here in America, or are we gonna?
We're talking about a cultural thing. Okay, I agree that if you look at something like a college campus where it's like automatically if you're accused, there's a financial incentive for colleges. Like Obama saying you have to crack down on sexual assault. There's a financial incentive to side with someone who's accusing somebody over the accuser, and that dudes can get screwed over. I agree with you there. However, you cannot very, very, very true that it's almost always is a dude and a younger girl. I mean, we live in Manhattan. We see it.
Yeah, but I mean, is it?
You ever been in the financial district? No, but I'm just saying, like,
we're talking about criminal acts here. We're not talking about like if I'm a billionaire at 60, I'm gonna date a 25-year-old.
All right,
I mean, that's not a crime. It's creepy, but
Okay,
it's not, and it's more, she has a choice too. I mean, you have this whole thing with sugar babies and sugar daddies. I mean,
What's legal is legal.
yeah,
Yeah, that's. I mean, yeah.
yeah.
no
I mean,
judgments,
it's
but
It's creepy, but why fault the guy for doing
being
well
creepy.
doing well for himself?
Maybe we do this. Maybe we do a progression of phases in life and when it's appropriate, right? So what I'm seeing here is there's the high school age boys and girls,
which is disgusting.
and then there's the college age boys and girls,
Which is hot.
and then
Put some cereal.
I was 17 when I went to school. I was a minor.
so then there's again. This is why I said this.
I mean, I got
And
to be
think
careful because I am Puerto Rican, so I did obviously lose it at a very young age.
Oh.
How old were you?
12.
God damn!
No.
No way!
That's great. Good
Wow.
for you.
To
Yeah.
a woman or a man?
I love you.
To a young girl.
She was
Really?
younger than 12.
So,
Oh my god!
No.
she was 11.
legal.
11
Double
and a half.
digits or single digits?
11 and a half.
What is that even?
Oh, yeah. Well, we don't need to count months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if you're both under 18, then it's fine.
No, when you could still
I mean, it's not
multiply the months by 12.
Now,
I
what's
mean,
up with like a 17-year-old has sex with a 12-year-old? What's the ruling on that?
That's messed up.
It's messed up, but
It's
what's the?
messed
It's
up.
not. Is it?
It
It's
depends on the
illegal.
state.
It's illegal. It's
What's it called?
It depends on the state.
statutory rape.
In
That is
Louisiana,
statutory.
if you're 17, you're legal. If there's grass on the field, play ball. All the dirty old dudes.
But
used to say.
there's also every state is there's no federal rule on this. Every state is
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
There's also different rules with parental consent, which are very strange.
I mean, the thing is, when it comes to
Very strange. Dad, can I bang this dude?
Yes.
Yes, yes, sweetie,
in
you
New York-
can.
in New York-
Okay, he's clear.
in New York, 17 is the legal age of consent, but you can't be more than a certain
you can't be
amount
more
of
than
years.
22.
Yeah,
The other guy can't be more than because it's
The other
fucked
guy.
up. What happens to
I feel like if you need legal permission, you might need to look in the mirror.
but when it's like-
Maybe I'm a little gross.
But when it's 19-year-old and a 17-year-old, I think that's when someone can go to jail
right.
for that. I think that's sad. I don't know,
Well,
that's
I mean,
fucked up.
you know what's even messed
course.
up? I mean, you have like teenage boys that they get into the whole sexting thing, and they're getting arrested for producing child pornography of their own junk.
Oh, and they're young. They're
Yeah.
children.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. So that
So-
is illegal.
Yeah.
So you're talking about a 17-year-old sexting
No.
his or a 19-year-old? I'm sorry.
Well, no, 17.
Even having it on
Okay,
your phone, like you
so-
can't take a picture of your own junk if you're underage.
Okay,
It's not
so-
just for dudes; it's for anybody.
What about this hypothetical situation?
All right.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Which is ridiculous.
Child pornography ring.
Got it.
All right. Run by all children, administered to only children.
Got
is
it.
it legal?
No, it's a great business. I think
Oh,
No,
like a 12-year-old administering to like 6-year-olds?
Yeah,
it's a great business. That's a GoFundMe. I think I just saw a Kickstarter.
I think that
about
we can't actually have anything to do with it whatsoever.
No, not our show.
Yeah, no, I
No, but
know.
I'm saying it'd have to be like a 12-year-old.
Is that
I think-
that legal?
Last podcast is doing that.
That's
as a
an interesting
fundraiser.
question, but it's not
Because
because
it's the internet age. There's phone cameras.
Well,
this
what they're
could
saying
totally
is-
happen.
well, what he's saying, which is what's going on, is that if you like take a picture, like a nudie of yourself when you're underage, you can get in trouble for producing that, even though it's your body.
Yeah.
Oh.
But maybe you just want like some memory book.
Yeah,
stuff.
just for yourself.
Yeah, so that's ridiculous.
I'm
I
just
agree.
so glad I'm not a parent.
Oh man, me
Oh
too.
my God,
Lord.
I can't even.
I swear to God, if I had a son, I'm like, you're taking the picture, I'm kicking your ass.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what now, you can't delete the picture. I recently did this.
Nothing gets deleted.
I recently did this to my girlfriend because I thought it would be funny because of that Kanye line in that one album. I was like, send a picture of my dick. And I did that. And then I got home and it was like, it popped up on my iPhoto on my computer. And then it's on my Apple TV when I turn on the TV. And then it all pops up and you can't delete any of it.
And if a kid walked in there, you would go to jail,
Jail
forever.
forever.
Plus terrorism.
Jeez.
Just cuz.
True.
Damn.
I
Now-
would feel terrorized if I saw your dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm going to show
Catherine,
it to you later.
What's an example of like
Ooh la
some
la.
extreme chauvinism happening
Don't
to
threaten me with a
you,
good time.
like in the world, in the workforce, like
Oh,
personally
I mean,
to
just
you?
like take a look at my like Twitter mentions.
Yeah.
I actually recently, someone was looking for a video that I did, so they searched me on YouTube and they found a video where some guy was watching me reporting the news and making like jerk off noises. And so was it you? Was it you?
It sounds familiar.
I don't know. So I mean, the attitudes are there. I, you know, and that should be obvious. That should be obvious that it's like, you know.
So do you think that
gross.
should be a criminal activity?
No, I mean, obviously not. Like,
But I think that should be culturally repulsive, no?
is
exactly, it should be
culturally
culturally repulsive.
Wait, I want to hear Louie. Louie has the stink face on that he doesn't think it is.
Well, no. It's like, I personally wouldn't do that. And a lot of men's rights activists that I know wouldn't. Like, we it's not like we go out as like, yeah, we should like totally just start sharking chicks on, you know, on the street.
Wait, can you define sharking?
Oh, it's when you rip a woman's clothes off on the street.
What?
Oh, well, that's illegal, and I'm glad that you and your friends don't go out and say that you want to rip women's
Like,
clothes
look,
off on the street.
Yeah,
'Cause
you're
that
really,
would be a huge
really
problem.
taking a strong stand,
Yeah.
Louie.
I'm anti-ripping women's clothes off on the
I mean,
street. I'm
we
not
try.
a sexist.
It's like we're not trying to.
You should stand up against slavery too while you're at it. So. No, but okay. So you're saying that your men's activist guys are against a lot of these outwardly violent or offensive things against women. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
Wait, okay, no. What the
Thank
pretty
God.
much is the. No, but
I mean, no,
seriously,
but that's a common misconception. Is like, oh, you want to be free to rape chicks? Like, no, we're just.
I'm glad that you don't want to be free to rape chicks. But no, I mean,
You just think it's disgusting that a dude can make fapping noises while you're on TV, but if a
What
if
is
a,
FAP?
what fat?
jerking.
Oh, is
Jerking the
that
curtain.
noise?
yeah, that's,
That's what
is.
FAP is?
I think it's gross, and I
Is
hate
that the
there's
jerk
like
off noise?
I hate
Yeah.
that there's like two levels because at the same time
Actually,
you're
for
not
Puerto
going to see
Ricans,
me.
da, 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 da.
You're not going to see me at like a campus protest being like, no matter what she says, believe her, like no matter what, because that's like due
Yeah.
process is a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's a thing
yeah.
for me.
Like look what happened at Columbia with the mattress girl. Have you guys heard?
What happened with her?
Apparently,
I know she was carrying around the mattress.
Yeah,
because
she was carrying around the mattress because she said she was raped.
Yeah.
Even though text messages and other evidence came out saying it came out that it was consensual, yet Columbia still allowed her to shame this guy and carry the
She
mattress around.
carried the mattress every goddamn day.
And here's the thing,
That's a lot of
she
weight.
ended up
That's a lot of.
she
yeah.
ended up making a porno video about
She made a porn.
I don't
She
think
made a
I
porn.
don't think that's relevant.
Well, no,
that
it was a
means you
video of
can't
her
be
getting
raped.
sexually assaulted and raped.
Was
Okay.
it?
Yes.
Did she act?
You could look it up now. I mean, it was on the Gothamist. I downloaded it. I saw it. I was like, this is the least sexiest thing I've ever seen.
Wait, she made a fictional video.
Another
of her-
hard stance. You
So
said. Rape is the least
okay.
sexiest
So
thing.
here's a big issue that I've read about recently, and NPR did a big debate about it on Intelligence Squared. Is when there is a sexual assault on campus, what are the rights of the victim to adjudicate that crime or that offense at the college level internally, or going to the actual police?
Well, there's
in that?
campus police, those that are real police
But
officers.
Eddie, okay, so here's my question, Eddie. Where do you draw the line of is there a rape, or is there just a dude going around sharking? So if the dude sharks, which I'm so unhappily.
illegal.
So if a guy goes and rips a girl's
If
a
it
top
happens
down,
on campus, campus police.
so then you think about, okay, then the victim has to go to the police. Now then that victim has to go to class the next day or the
Right.
next weekend, that Monday,
Yeah.
and deal with that offender and all the people that know that offender.
Yeah.
How does that make that victim feel? And is that even a person that wants to go to the police after that, knowing that they have to live with that person?
Well, I should hope that that person who did the stupid fucking thing, their friends were smart enough to not be friends with them anymore after
Usually
they do
they're
something
not.
that horrible.
not.
Yeah.
Usually they're not, though. They're like, great job, bro. It's not, the world, they don't really work like that. It's like, thank God you did that. That's so funny. It's so
Dudes are
funny.
told to like trust their buddies, and girls are lying, and girls are gonna.
Yeah. Well,
there's a great-
I've experienced it like a million times in my life.
Yeah.
Okay, Louie, what do you...
Well, like I was discussing with sorry,
Cat?
Catherine, sorry, about like I was falsely accused of rape when I was 19.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
By who?
By a girl I was dating. She was, we were dating for 9 months. We didn't have sex because I respected her. She, I was just, I was raised a Christian, so I was like, okay, let's do this the right way.
So how far did it go?
We barely.
Did she
we
call the
ba-
cops,
We
or-
actually, okay. I was at the time going to college, going to school, so I would make time to see her. But she was always at her best friend Skylar, and you do the quotation mark for radio. Her best friend Skylar, who's a girl in Staten Island, and that was one of the main subjects for argument. Like, why are you always seeing her? We like in the 9 months we were official. I've only saw her for like a month.
Yeah.
And so I would make time to see her. So I went to her apartment building.
You were in the Bronx?
Brooklyn.
You were in Brooklyn. She was in Staten Island. You only saw her for 1 month out of 9?
No. She lived in Brooklyn too, but she would go always visit her best friend Skylar's in Staten Island.
Yeah.
So I would make
That's a best friend, by the way.
yeah,
That's a really close friend.
a very close
I have
friend.
zero close friends that I would go to Staten Island for.
Yeah, you got to get on a boat.
I have
No,
a
thank
lot
you.
of friends.
A train-
Zero of them are worth Staten Island.
two trains in a boat, perhaps a Cessna.
Okay.
So, I made time to see her. I was going to her apartment. I'm walking in the lobby. Elevator doors open, and she's making out with her best friend.
Okay.
All right.
So I woke up, and I'm like, oh, well, I guess this is over. So I'm going home, like, thinking, okay, well, all the time I spent with her, I could have been, she turned out to be a lesbian.
Yeah.
well,
wait,
or
the-
bisexual. It's not.
Lesbian.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No sex with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be
Are
anything.
you still a virgin, by the way?
No.
Okay.
No.
13, remember?
12.
Oh, yeah. Well,
My goodness.
Preteen.
Yeah.
Preteen fuck.
Yes. It was delicious.
PT.
Oh my god.
So, I'm walking, I'm like feeling really crappy about myself. I turn the corner on my block. A car screeches next to me. Her father, her brother, her brother's friends, her uncle come out, say, why did you rape her? I'm like, what? Wait, who? What? And I'm like, we barely held hands. Rape her? What are you talking? They kicked the shit out of me.
No shit.
Dragged me to the police station. I'm sitting in interrogation. No, my rights haven't been read.
And you're how old?
I'm 19.
Okay.
So, the detective comes in. He's like, look, sign this confession and you could go free.
Ugh,
That doesn't make any sense.
It
Have
does-
you ever sharked anybody though?
Never.
Have you ever bared silent witness to a sharking?
Actually, never.
I did not know that exists. That's
I never
crazy.
heard
Have you ever been,
Actually,
have you ever
I
been
mean-
a bystander?
I mean, they're porn sites like Japanese sharking.
So
Yeah.
let's get back to this. So what happened? So the cops investigated and you were...
Well, what ended up happening is she's in the next room, and I find this out later. They're trying to get her to go to the hospital to get a rape kit done because she said I did it without a condom on, and I dumped in her. So
she, yeah. So,
so she's like, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to. So after a while, she ends up recanting.
oh, so so anything happened to her?
No,
Falsely
nothing.
accusing?
No,
or-
nothing.
Here's
Nothing
the
ha-
thing. That's bad. I'm a big old stinky feminist, and I don't like women that do that because it makes women that did get raped.
Yeah.
It takes away the
Exactly.
the value of that.
I mean,
that's
Exactly.
horrible.
Yeah, and look at the
Not
case.
good.
Look at the case of Brian Banks. He ended up doing 8 years, missing out on an opportunity to play football because some chick threw rape on him, so that way she wouldn't get in trouble for getting home late.
And
it
what
was
happened to him? And what happened? How did he get a... acquitted?
She contacted him to apologize when he got out of jail, and she sat with him and her lawyer, and they recorded it.
So what, he sued her or what?
Actually, she ended up getting money from the school system, like $1 million settlement, and now she has to pay it back, which they'll never see because she already spent all that money.
Yeah.
And basically he has to rebuild his life. He has to go through all this, getting his record expunged.
Yeah, that's absolutely horrible.
So, Louie, you went through a very traumatic experience being falsely accused of rape, and it sounds like that was terrible. And Amber is kind of like with you on this, that it's terrible, and I think we all are. We don't want a false accusation, but what I'm also hearing is that it has shaped your opinion going forward of women and the relationships that you may have had.
Oh yeah, no. For 10 years, I did have an extreme hatred of women.
Oh,
Extreme. Like I just couldn't. Couldn't trust them. For the longest time, I had that.
And
Yeah.
are you saying you trust them now, though? 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm not
what
really
broke
getting
you?
that vibe from you.
What actually broke me was the fact that I, have very good friends who are female, who are like god sisters to me, who are there for me. Shout out to my sister Novi, my sister Nicole from, who is a real rape victim.
yeah.
And she is like one of the most bravest people I know. So that kind of like, okay, wait a minute. Okay, not all of them are like this. They're, I've made real, connections,
So other women brought you out of it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's fantastic. But it did shape you for 10 years. 10 years is a very long time.
Yeah. I mean, it was because I was getting, it was not only just the false rape. The next relationship I had, she cheated on me with her drug dealing ex-boyfriend.
Okay,
Right,
well,
but
here's
then-
the thing.
Yeah,
What kind of women are you getting involved with? where do you meet these women?
Perfect.
Well, yeah. I mean, I had to go through
Where do you meet them? Where did you meet these girlfriends?
The
Church. Synagogue?
Actually, no. One I met, coming out of college. She was standing there at the bus stop. It was raining, so like a gentleman, I had my umbrella. I put it over her, and she liked me because I wasn't staring at her chest.
I love girls that have rain on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
do you shark them?
No, it's difficult because the clothes are sticking to their bodies.
Yeah. It's more like
So
at
different.
that point, it's more like wailing them. I guess. I don't know what that means.
That's so interesting.
But yeah, no, I went like, and of course, I've always been a fat guy, and the unwarranted like, oh, you fat fucking shit, like that kind of was like, okay, so this is this is what. For the longest time, I was thinking, oh, well, this is what women are. They're a bunch of evil cunts. So,
Women just call you a fat fuck?
well, yeah, I try to approach them and be nice, like, ew, get the fuck away from me. I'm like, damn, what the fuck did I do?
All right, so Catherine, what were you just saying?
Well, first of all, like, if a woman doesn't think you're hot, that doesn't mean she's like attacking you or is a sexist. I think that's an important thing to point out. And also, like,
If she calls you ugly to your face, she's a bitch.
Yeah,
it's mean.
I'm just
it's mean to do
saying.
that regardless of anybody. But I'm also saying, like, it sounds when you talk still kind of like maybe you're not totally out of it yet. Oh, you're like this chick that, this chick this, and this bitch this and that.
Well, that's
like.
well, no,
and it's
just,
a very traumatic thing you went
yeah.
through, but I'm just kind of saying maybe like 10 years, like you said, is a long time.
Yeah.
I have to say that it does sound like there's still some remnants there. I guess my other question is, bring us more into the male activist culture and what it's like, because from our perspective, you led with, my boys, we don't go and shark girls, and that's like you just taught us a new word about how women can be abused, and that just blew my mind. Sharks were so cool for me up until tonight, like great white sharks. I was all about Shark Week. Now I'm like, this has a new meaning.
Well, I'm just trying to, bring out like what's the word, like one of the horrible thing you could do to a woman.
Tell me the good side of your movement.
Basically, we're kind of like feminists. Like, we want equal rights. We want women. Of course, women should have equal rights. That's a no-brainer. Like, I'm a libertarian politically, and it's like, if you want equal rights, you're worried about our male privilege.
So what do equal rights look? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but what do equal rights look like for you?
Equal rights, equal pay, equal protection under the law, equal reproductive rights.
What does that mean for men, though?
What does that mean? Well, okay. Well, it's almost difficult for a man to get a vasectomy because a lot of doctors just won't do it. Like, I don't have kids, and
My brother has a vasectomy.
does he have kids?
He had 4 kids. He has 4 kids. They got him a vasectomy.
Yeah. No doctor will blink an eye, and
But if you have no kids,
if you have no kids, in fact, I was told by one doctor, we won't give you a vasectomy unless you were married and you got a signed letter from your wife.
Oh, damn.
What? How is that even legal?
I don't know. They just wouldn't do it. I mean, I was able to make an appointment with another doctor, but vasectomies are, I guess, getting really popular, so I won't be able to do it until June of next year.
Well, at least they're popular.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I'm glad.
I mean, and I know when some women are going to be listening, like, oh, thank God he's not going to have kids. But, I mean, it's more of the reason why I want to do it is not because women, it's because I don't like the way this society is going, and I can't see myself bringing a child into this nonsense.
So you're doing like a male abortion, which is vasectomy, which is weird because men can get vasectomies, which is a little bit difficult for you, but women are currently having to fight for the rights to even just have an abortion, and clinics are being shut down, Planned Parenthood is being shut down.
I think that's wrong. I think that's wrong. I mean, look, I'm not trying to tell a woman what to do with her body. That again, I'm going off the cuff here.
Do it.
No, you're right.
I'm being really radical. Yeah, I don't believe I own a woman.
Oh boy.
Very radical.
Yeah,
Good. Thank you.
And a lot of men's rights activists believe that too. It's not about hating women. It's more like stop hating us, because when you hear, oh well, men are just retarded women. Like I've heard.
When you hear,
I think I
hanging out in the same places.
Yeah.
I think you've been speaking to because I think Catherine can speak. Maybe I'm speaking for you, but we are both feminists, but we both love men.
Yeah, I love it.
Men are fantastic, but there's a lot of bad. There's a lot of bad feminists out there. There's a lot of women that don't consider themselves equal. They consider themselves better than men and everybody else, and they're giving us all a bad name.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. The women that are doing like the false accusation stuff, the women that are like saying, oh, I heard somebody say, oh boy, and that's sexist, and I'm going to write 6,000 words in Jezebel. They're making all of us look bad because I really do have shit to deal with because I am a woman.
Yeah, it's real shit.
It's actually
You
true.
work at Fox News. You deal with old crutches.
I love my job, actually. I do. But it's more like because of people that I encounter. Being a woman on the internet is a nightmare. And even just in your personal life, automatically dudes do have more credibility because they're dudes. And it's getting worse, on the other hand, because of these girls that are making things up. Yeah. Because these girls are making things up, or they're whining about stuff that doesn't matter.
I mean, let's look at, have you ever heard of Anna Sarkeesian?
No.
She's a blogger who talks about...
Sounds Armenian.
Yeah. She's a blogger that talks about how video games are sexist and how, trying to bring political correctness into video games.
I don't want to disagree with you, but I also want to have a nice counterpoint to you, and I want to get to Kat's time at Fox News.
Yeah.
But the whole video game thing have been dominated by men for a long time, and I don't think the video game industry is about political correctness. I think it's about balance. Is that more and more women are starting to play video games, and there should be more video games that have more female sensibilities, and that would trend well with men if they actually got into them.
We're not saying stop the shooter games.
I mean, look, they redesigned Lara Croft, so she's not like a
that is not a that is a band-aid. We're talking about actual incepting real video games that appeal to everyone, including women, not just 14 to 24-year-old dudes.
Well, for the longest time, it was like men were dominating, like you said.
Yeah, men are still dominating, by the way.
Yeah.
They are still dominating.
That's just like actually literally true.
But there are a lot of gamer girls that still like it.
There
Like,
are, and there's a lot of gamer girls that also want more empathetic games, that are more networked, hive-minded games, that are more social networking-based games. There's also interactive games. There's also a lot of things that we can learn from a female sensibility when it comes to interactive gaming culture that we are missing out on, that we haven't participated in because of that. I understand this topic very deeply, and I love it very deeply because I've been playing games my entire life.
Right.
But I think we need to evolve.
But this Anna Sarkeesian, she's commenting on games, but there's a video of her saying she doesn't play games. So she's commenting on something she doesn't know nothing about, and she's trying to make herself.
Listen, homie, you watch a game, you understand the game.
Yeah,
But
I've also never been involved in sharking. I'm anti-sharking.
But I want to ask you a couple things about your about sharking. You want to talk about sharking? No, I want to talk about your general view. There is a conservative view of Planned Parenthood being a bad thing.
Okay, awesome.
And I am constantly confused by this.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Inform me.
And I want to know, and I have a intellectual understanding of what there could be different arguments of, but I actually want to hear what your argument is for what I hear constantly is Planned Parenthood is like the abortion factory, and there's just some weird dude cranking out abortions all the time.
That's true. No. So I'm personally pro-choice. I'm anti-Planned Parenthood just because I feel like it could be. It's like a sickly economic argument of like how it could be more efficiently done to do what they do.
That's fine.
The people that work there, you know, they're making like She makes like Richards make $500,000 a year, and then you get to play it off like, oh, it's for women. It's for women. It's another thing that's like embarrassing. Those videos were really gross. I did see them. They were really, really gross.
What is it?
The like Planned Parenthood videos. But like I am totally pro-choice myself. And I think it's weird when people aren't, especially dudes, are like, no, you gotta stay pregnant. That's like very strange.
But am I wrong that you're a conservative though? No,
I'm a libertarian. I'm against yeah.
So if you're against Planned Parenthood, how are we supposed to get people free?
I'm thinking of like
medication?
long term. I'm like, you know, like libertarians were also like idealists.
Yeah, but you can't get rid of
So,
something without a solution.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I think that I'm like not like pro like let's defund the government because we saw a video. Like I'm more of like let's look into it and see what's wrong and like fix it. The videos were really, really weird and gross, but we need to like look into it. We can't just be like Plus, like, you know.
So were the videos made by Planned Parenthood?
No.
No, but it was like at a Planned Parenthood.
Anti Planned Parenthood videos. I don't know what's going on.
It was
Amber
people
does.
sitting down with Planned Parenthood people, and I believe the Planned Parenthood people said the fetuses they do go to it's like stem cell research, but the videos were cut up. Like edited to look like, oh, we take dead babies and then we sell them on the black market or something.
Yeah,
it looked very weird.
it made
Right, so I'm saying like I totally understand why people would be disturbed by that, but like that's not even like my main thing. If you'd have asked me before all this happened about Planned Parenthood, I would.
I mean, but if you're getting rid of your baby, who cares if they fucking research it?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying this is even before this. Like I'm pro-choice, Planned Parenthood, kind of just like. And
it's just a big, it's like Dwayne Reed.
And
for abortions.
and the same thing is they also like try to like say too much, like, oh, we're doing all these like mammogram, but they like don't. And that's fine. Like, just say, I don't know, like just the way that they're trying to brand themselves, like where they're doing things they're not doing. Yeah. I just think that when it gets to be this like big bureaucracy, it's always turns into more of a black hole.
So I think there's a great common ground here, and I think one of the things that I hope happens more is that states' rights come into more effect here.
Although,
right?
except Louisiana, because Bobby Jindal's fucking throwing that place in the hole.
Here's the thing, right?
Rights.
And you look at Texas, or you look at what Bobby Jindal's doing in Louisiana.
What, Mississippi's got one abortion clinic.
Exactly.
I mean, if I could jump in, I mean, this just continues the whole culture of Planned Parenthood that was started by Margaret Sanger, who basically started it to kill black babies.
Oh, right.
It started off as a racist organization.
Well, I mean, so did America. So, so we got to deal with that too. I mean, they didn't want Puerto Ricans, bro. But we took them over, and I'll tell you what. When my family came to America, they didn't want us either. Yeah. So it's like we have racial stuff. It's still, racism is embedded in our Constitution. So the racism that we have to evolve beyond that. I'm not like someone that's just like, to stop discrimination. We have to stop discrimination. It's like, I understand that.
We're talking about, hashtag Black Lives Matter, but you have places like Planned Parenthood that are killing.
Black lives do matter.
No. I don't think we should conflate Black Lives Matter with Planned Parenthood. Black Lives Matter is a current situation that is happening, that we're talking about institutionalized racism that has been happening for an extended period of time. Planned Parenthood has evolved over a significant period of time, and it is supporting the lower income people in America with a lot
Lord
of
knows
really
I'd
good.
have a kid without it.
Yeah, I know. Good Lord, Eddie, you just brought up a really. I know I would definitely have a kid without Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
And it's like it's very important for us to realize, okay, there are good uses of Planned Parenthood, but then there are also irresponsible uses of Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
And
I was
please.
I was born and raised in Saudi Arabia, and I'm a big feminist because I've seen when you don't give women education,
food, water,
just basic healthcare, respect,
smiles.
something. Everybody gets fucked. Everybody gets
They hit their heads on bricks and gold coins don't pop up. It's a problem.
Yeah, Louisiana. I mean, even though Saudi Arabia's a different place, I still see some like small aspects of that in Louisiana.
It's like a wet Saudi Arabia.
A little wet Saudi Arabia.
Sticky.
Like I'd be
Saudi Arabia
sticky.
with horns.
Yeah, wet one. But like a couple girlfriends of mine were like sexually assaulted around New Orleans, and people were like, New Orleans, and people were like, oh, were you walking around New Orleans in that short skirt? Of course you were. And it's like, should I put on a burqa and rip out my genitals for your fucking fast?
That's a really, I think brings up a really good point. So how do men's activists react to something where there is a constant conversation around when women get sexually assaulted? People are like, well, you shouldn't dress that way. How do you deal with that? Because you're supposed to protect women and also defend men's rights. How do you deal with that?
Well, I mean, we find that repugnant, of course.
But what are you saying publicly besides us right now?
It's just that we just find it disgusting. It's like we wouldn't. It's like just because you wear a certain thing, we're not saying you deserve it. We're not saying you. It's like, of course. It's like, it's more like duh. So but it's like, but we're saying that the guys that are doing that, it's like it's such a small number, but not
There's a big number of guys that do that.
Yeah, and but the thing is, when you look at it, it's like, okay, they have to have some mental issues to be doing something stupid like that.
They have guys with jobs. They're guys with like regular jobs, regular dudes.
I keep thinking about this, like it's almost like the Muslim extremist argument. It's like those are just extremists. We can't deal with them. There are good dudes too. The good guys are what we should be focusing on.
Like, I mean, there are certain guys that are called MGTOW, which is called men going their own way, which basically they live like monks.
Really?
Okay. What is that? What does that entail?
Why?
Oh, the no sex thing. I think I read about this.
Well, no, they basically do not want to have any dealings with women at all. They just they go to work, they go home, they
get on Reddit.
No, for real. Like, what do they do when they go home?
That was almost me. I mean,
They feed their dog and they sit on the porch and listen to country music.
They basically pursue their own interests.
But
without they don't date. They don't.
But here's my question though: if they're
Great
not
song named Bob by Drive-By Truckers involving that.
What do they do if a woman bumps into them in the subway?
What do you mean bops?
And
like bumps into them
like
accidentally.
their butts rubbing against their penis.
They don't do anything.
Or if she strikes up a conversation at Chick-fil-A, he's like, "Hey, what are you gonna get?"
Well, probably says nothing because it doesn't feel like
they don't they choose not to speak to women because there's that high fear of, okay, this is gonna be considered catcalling.
Look, that's a little bit extreme.
Like it is extreme. It is.
Yeah.
These are guys that do not want.
But you sound like you're blaming women for that.
Are they? Oh, but I'm sorry, but are they also doing nothing online?
What do you
There's
mean?
no way to
They're
tell.
not engaging online as well.
No, they refuse to engage with women at all.
But I mean,
Really?
no. Are they going? We said, are they go on Reddit as a joke? But just because
Well,
they
no.
don't engage with women in public,
because you know why argue? It's a moot point to go someplace where you know you're not wanted and argue. It's
Yeah, but-
you just don't.
But do they argue with other men and rile each other up?
No, it's more like a brotherhood. It's like, okay, well, you know, I'm gonna go. I'm getting my education. I'm
I
getting
see.
a better job. You know, I got
It's a lifestyle choice.
Yeah.
so
yeah.
it really is complete removal. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not just
Some
like
people don't like
Yeah,
dogs.
they're
you know, they
basically-
got no dogs.
They're basically
know?
it's a sexodus.
My point is they're not going on Reddit and like cyberbullying or rage fantasing or doing
Or like
any
taking
ridiculous-
screenshots of me and like having like hundreds of comments about
Yeah,
it.
and like jerking off to like cat's face and stuff like that.
That's not what MG Toe is
I'll
about.
tell you
It's-
what, if you do actually have hate for women, this is the perfect way to deal with it, in my opinion. It's just don't talk to them and don't
Yeah.
deal with them at all.
Yeah,
'Cause,
exactly.
you know, like once you go past that, like
I mean, the rationale
you're
is
doing
like,
horrible things.
Yeah, the like I've heard. You
But
know,
that's like if you're a white person that hates black people, you're like, well, then just go live in a cave.
Go live in the woods, yeah, because you're not you can't
Eddie,
be around
I-
normal people.
I think that's a ticking time bomb, Eddie. I think that's a ticking time bomb,
I
buddy.
mean, there's an MG Toe friend of mine. His name is Ear Hauer.
What's up, you Howard?
It's up. And you know, basically, it's like, why deal with women? Porn is free.
All right, well that's
but
a.
he still watches women fuck.
Well, yeah, he's like, I don't like women, but I like pictures of women.
What about
Sounds like a very happy, well-adjusted man.
Interesting. But does he like
That's how I feel
watching?
about crocodiles.
Does he watch women like talk about things, or is it just like just pure sexual stuff? But does he watch a woman that that gets on YouTube and is like, today I ate some ice cream? I don't know. Does he watch that?
I
or-
hope no one watches that.
I was gonna say, or a woman who says something actually important, because sometimes I also have more intelligent thoughts.
Yeah.
No, I
or
mean,
something, yeah.
usually he'll post articles like about what happened in California a couple years back, where a man was going to divorce his wife and she cut off.
Okay, so only anti-women articles.
pretty
well?
much.
She cut off his dick.
I think there's a good.
And then Sharon Osbourne made a joke about it, and it was like, if it was a man that
Sharon
cut off,
Osbourne.
like if it was a
Forgot
man
about
that cut off a woman's boobs, we wouldn't be making jokes about that.
So
Because men don't do that.
I think
Not
I think
normal men.
one thing that I'd
Men
like to
do.
just say is that I feel like we're leaning on Louie a little bit, and it's not because we necessarily agree or disagree with one side or the other. I think it's more of just we're just so interested in
Yeah,
your
no,
perspective.
definitely.
Yeah, yeah,
And,
this is new
and
to
I
me.
think we all can agree that, you know, there's one side of this that we all can agree on. There's too much political correctness in our entire culture.
Oh hell yeah!
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I do stand up
Yeah.
comedy. When I first started, I was, I was doing like.
I'm
real-
sure you crushed.
I was doing real. I was doing real misogynistic shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
You got to get the anger out.
Yeah. You know. So
It's
I-
interesting looking back on the stuff that I was writing like 13 years ago when I first started doing Murder Fist, and it is just, it's cruel.
Did you go through a tough relationship or something, Eddie?
Nah, just none. Holden was funny. Everything he wrote was anti-girlfriend.
Yeah, because he's a real reactionary dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, I'm not a fan of Ronda Rousey because I can't respect a woman beater.
Is that a joke or is that real?
That's a
Of
joke.
course it's a joke. She's a wonderful athlete. She is the most electric athlete in sports
I
right now.
am in love with Red
Oh,
Rousey.
Oh, she beat the crap out of Misha Tate and that.
Anybody.
Betcha.
Wasn't that guy? He said, "Make me a sandwich, or I'll beat you up if I win and make me a sandwich."
that was Tank Abbott.
Yeah. Did they
Oh,
ever fight?
Tank Abbott's like 80 years old.
Yeah, but look at the size of him,
He's nothing. She would destroy Tank Abbott.
dude. Have you seen pictures of him?
Yeah, Tank Abbott couldn't, even when he was at his prime, he couldn't last more than 5 minutes in the octagon. And that was before they had rounds when he was fighting.
I mean, maybe
They just had one long round. They're
Alright.
like, go for it.
I mean, look, there are physical difference between men and women when it comes to strength. So,
Yeah. Boobs are the most powerful. Boobs the most powerful organ on the planet.
Here's an interesting thing.
But I don't think it should happen.
Yeah, I work at a coal factory.
Oh, okay.
Or it's like pet coke.
Oh, Petco.
Yeah, it's like the byproduct of coal.
Okay.
And there's all these dudes walking around, and they're like, "I'm the man."
She works in an office building, not an actual factory,
exactly.
for the listeners.
Sound
She's coming here with soot on her face.
She's a canary. She's a canary. They send her down there. Make sure.
Amber's has to always turn the light off on her hard hat when she comes in, blinding everybody.
Oh man, but it is dudes. It is very man run, and the only time women are allowed in the conference room is when we are taking notes or making coffee. But these men,
What are you at Mad Men? What's
that's
this?
exactly what it is.
Jesus.
Basically, and these men, they brag about how manly men they are and how like the women need to be taken care of. But when it comes to honestly lifting giant boxes of paper, lifting big boxes of trash, taking shit out, lifting huge FedEx boxes across the street, I have to do it myself.
Oh.
They don't do it. So I not only get the very manly responsibility of lifting shit up, but I also have to fucking make coffee. That sucks, and then I'm getting off my soapbox now.
Do you work in facilities?
Jesus.
I work all of it.
Yeah,
I do everything. I make
You do
them
the mail?
coffee. I do the mail. I make them coffee, and then I have to go like lift giant barrels of trash and watch these men be like, "I'm the big man. I make all the money, and I'm very strong, and I can lift it all," while I am literally lifting it in front of them.
But they don't have the same job title as you.
Oh, well.
They don't, but they still brag about how manly and strong they are, and they have health insurance. I don't have health insurance for that company.
That's fucked up.
Ha ha.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you pregnant now.
Yeah.
Oh,
What do you
damn.
do?
Anyways, that's just
Well,
my little
why don't you
tangent.
sleep your way to the top like a good woman? I'm just kidding.
Why don't I do that?
No, and I was thinking about going back to the video game thing real quick. The problem is why there isn't probably that much female-generated video games. People are worried about losing a bunch of money.
Metroid, she's a woman.
I know. There's that. There's like all the
Master Chief.
Yeah, but I'm talking about just like general like, no one's ever gonna make a fucking WNBA game because how much money it takes.
Well,
40% of women play video. I mean, like 40% of gamers are women.
I know, but the thing is, like, the money that's put into, like, if they do make it, it's going to look like a Nintendo game. They're not going to take the time and put the money in because
I love shooter games.
because the money's going to be
There's a couple.
I love shooter games. Here's the thing. Sorry, Seena. What you were saying before with like women being more like rounded video games. I love big blow 'em up shooter games. I love action movies. I want to see a lot of blood, guts, gore. What I don't like to see is like the only women roles in there is just like a woman that dies immediately or gets fucked. I would like to see a
of the
woman.
games are she's the leader. Like what's the
Master Chief,
Resident
Metroid.
Evil?
Resident Evil. That's
So
okay.
I think there's a couple things.
You got me.
No, but
Lara Croft.
There's two things.
there's a couple things.
Two things.
There's the style of video game that I think can apply to everyone, and everyone's always going to like an action game, right? Just like everyone always likes an action movie. You have men and women go to action movies, but at the same time, video games are not just for the action stuff. They are a new medium of storytelling, and there's a huge area that we can still cover in the ability of game developers to tell a story and have people interact with it. I know it sounds all flighty and liberally and all weird and shit, but it really is true. There are so many different ways that people can interact with a video game than they can't do with a movie, and that's what I think the difference is, and that women are creating a new frontier in that right now.
And men are so fucking scared. And
Yes.
that's why they're harassing women online, which harassment and freedom of speech are two different things. You can call a
Nerds
woman a
go
cunt.
crazy on
I
this
got a
shit.
letter from a convicted sex offender, like male.
How was
Really?
that? Tag us there.
Yeah, like actually sent to my office. And it was like I get like mail all the time, and it's fun. But like
I
it
don't
had
get
like
mail
all
all
the
the time.
dots on the eyes were circles. So I was like, I've seen this on SVU. So I searched his name, and like sure enough, He's a convicted sex offender, and then I looked up his name
Sex
on my email.
offenders make circle eyes?
I don't
Yeah.
know. It was a weird, creepy, like juvenile handwriting.
Handwriting's there's a whole
Yeah.
way of reading handwriting.
And like,
Absolutely.
so he's been like, email. And I searched his name in my email, and he's been emailing me since December. But I get a lot of emails, so I kind of just normally ignore him. So it's just like, and like, what can you do? Like, you can't do anything, obviously.
You can't do anything. And these dudes are like, it's just freedom of speech. It's freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is like, you can call me a cunt. You can call me a cunt all day, every day. I don't give a fuck. I'm a cunt. I went to the post office today. I'm still a cunt at the post office, you know?
Wow.
But as soon
You
as
gotta go in the post office swinging.
That's
I'm swinging.
Any government office, you gotta go and swing. You know, get out of there.
Absolutely.
How come you're not paying the extra $8 to get the non-cunt service?
Oh, that's a good one. Got to do that one.
I was getting called a spick every time I would send out a package, and
Give him that $8.
I had to give him that $8 so that way, because I want to be treated like a human.
Yeah, send that money out. But once you tell someone, once you like send off somebody's private home address,
Yeah.
that is harassment. It is no longer freedom of speech, fellas.
Actually,
no more.
that's happened to me. I mean, Miss Fox News here. She's gonna get mad at me, but I'm a 9/11 conspiracy theorist.
Okay.
And I was
Rock
part,
and roll.
I was part of
Nobody's perfect, buddy. It's okay.
Yeah.
I like to hear about it.
I love it.
Yeah, I
Me
mean, I was part of a group called We Are Change,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry.
Oh no, we all
go
are
for it.
No,
Go
we're
for it.
interested.
Go
We
for
wanna
it.
know
We're
about this.
interested.
Yeah,
Continue.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I already know I was gonna get stabbed. I'm not making it home alive. So
For the
That is
record, he's
stabbing.
not being stabbed.
Yeah. None of us are Puerto Rican, just you.
just me. Oh,
White
that's
people
right.
get guns. Yeah, we have guns and sticks, white people.
So I found out that the head guy was stealing money, using it that was meant for the sick and dying first responders.
Oh.
And he was using it to pay for his own education, to buy beer, buy weed. And when I exposed this with his ex-girlfriend gave me his banking statements, I was able to prove it. I was getting rape threats by other men.
Really?
Sexy.
They put my home address online. Said that I was a convicted rapist, so that way to try to encourage people to come visit me.
How do they say that? Like, how do they say that you're a rapist? Like, just from tweets?
Just like that? No, they were like, they did take some stuff I said out of context from my podcast.
And that's tough because you probably, what do you do it weekly?
Lord knows the things I've
sometimes.
said.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
hundreds of thousands of words
Like
that you say.
stuff that I said when I was like really like,
Yeah.
I
said I wanted to kill a man today,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, but I
You
was,
did?
Amber said it into a megaphone in Times Square, though. So, it's a
So
little bit.
I mean,
Still okay. I still support you.
Oh, you just keep going.
oops.
Coal mine.
Oh, so the people were coming. They were coming after you.
Yeah, no one ever showed up. Usually,
Of course, I had a bunch of Russians mad at me once because a couple tweets I sent out anti-Russia, and they were texting me like, "Oh, you said that, dude." I got worried for a second, but then and you realize they're just tweeting maniacs.
please. I mean, the way Russia's so anti-homosexual, you would think they're hiding something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you could tweet me at Louie Bee 1 on Twitter. Eat it.
So I guess my question is, when you hear about these things that are so repugnant to you and your community,
Yeah.
do you feel a sense that you want to speak out against it, or are you like, man, we got enough problems defending our own shit as it is, we're gonna let that one just go?
Yeah, usually the reason why we like try to stay to our own stuff is because it's already getting pinned on us. Like, oh, men are rapists. Like, you hear that type of shit, and it's like, wait a minute. I ask a girl before I kiss her. What the fuck?
So, Kat, would you like to see that, or is it kind of one of those things where they shouldn't apologize for it, but it sounds like maybe the men's activists should stand up for something, maybe?
Snap for what? Like, what do you
Well, when there's something that they find repugnant, should they? Do you think that they should stand up against it? I guess I keep going
They
back
will
to
stand up when there's something to stand up to.
Yeah.
There is things will get stood up to if there was ever like a weird law or something happens, but that isn't happening.
I mean,
right
But
now.
I think
but
it's a whole attitude of a movement that's like built around we're the men, like men, like, and you know,
It's always going to exist.
Well, I mean,
so is the other side.
and the world is kind of already all like that a little bit.
Yeah.
It is. It's very much like that. It's like we have a chocolate chip cookie, and the world's like, you don't have enough chocolate chips. And they make it all chocolate chip cookie.
You know what I hate? I hate extremists from both sides.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
Extremists from both sides make me insane with anger. I hate complaining. I hate
Unless it's funny, complaining if it's funny.
It's funny, yeah. If you got a joke, tell me a fucking joke.
Yeah.
But complaining to complain, my fucking ears are gonna bleed.
Yeah.
And then that drives me nuts. And then it's just irrationalism. Just who gives a fuck most of the time?
Yes,
Let it go.
yes,
Let it roll off your
agreed.
back.
Yes,
A lot of times, it just needs
Most
that.
of the time.
Yeah.
This is the comedian's dilemma I find so often is that we are stuck in the fucking middle. We are stuck in
Yeah.
in between two extremes. So tell me, I want you two to tell me what is the brighter side? What is the kind of common ground that we can come to about these things? Where does Mars and Venus have a eclipse? Ooh.
And that's you make a baby.
Oh God.
Oh man, you two.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Never. Let's all
I'm
get
never gonna have a
vasectomies.
baby. Yeah.
Never.
No.
No
Let's
baby?
have a vasectomy party.
I don't think I want
So
a baby.
do neither of you want a
No.
baby?
I mean, he wants a vasectomy. He said it 3 times.
I mean, you know, again, I just don't like the way this society is.
I don't want a baby
going,
either.
You know.
Yeah,
Be
I
honest
tell
with
men.
you.
I've told so many men I don't want babies, and they look at me like I'm lying to them.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Oh,
what do you
a
mean?
well,
They're
that's
like,
because-
I can't wait to be the one that shows you do want a baby.
yeah.
Either that or they
imagine
can't
how
believe
my-
it's too good to be true.
Imagine how my Puerto Rican family looks at me. My father, I'm 32, and my father's like, "Papi, you're becoming an old man. When you're gonna make me a grandfather?" I'm like, "When you finish paying your fucking child support."
How many siblings do you have?
I'm the only child.
God damn.
I'm an only child too.
Also, 32 guys can have a
but
baby whenever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Look at Larry King.
Oh man.
Jesus Christ. An old Hollywood agent told me this. He said, women making it in Hollywood is a lot like women giving birth. If you're under 34, it's much easier. But after you're 34, it's so much harder.
Oh my God.
Not nowadays though. Now there's a lot
No,
of.
still
He
nowadays.
told me
It's
that
better. It's getting better for
still-
sure.
He
It
told
is,
me that
but yeah.
about like maybe a year ago.
Oh.
But Eddie, you bring up a good point, and I like how they disagree with you. And we're like, it's getting better. But like, what is the percentage increase in that really?
I mean, in the 90s, we had Murphy Brown, Golden Girls. We had the Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman. Now, what do we have?
Madam
we
Secret-
have Xena. What do we have now?
Whoa.
We
Why
have
do you gotta
I
bring
don't
Xena
know
where
what's on television.
I don't know. We have the Undateables and the 2 girls on that show, which God bless them and God bless the writers. Everybody's fine.
Jessica Jones is coming out in, next month. Spider-Woman on Netflix.
Yeah, there's Superwoman.
Yeah, but she's a sexy woman. They're never gonna have a Murphy Brown on again, like a
my-
woman that's a bitch coming on and she's being like, "Fuck all of you,"
well, they
and
got
she's
Veep.
not sexy.
You got Veep.
Veep?
You got
Veep is one. Okay.
Madam
Well,
Secretary.
HBO shouldn't count because they're free thinkers.
Yeah. Madam Secretary.
Tay Leonia is Madam Secretary.
I've never heard of that show.
lady that does The Good Wife. Those are popular shows.
Sigourney Weaver's on some show.
Yeah, those are on network television. No,
lots
listen,
of good
we don't
stuff.
watch.
We can all agree that we're struggling here.
Yeah, we don't,
Network television sucked then and it does now. I'll
we
tell you
don't
that.
watch network television. Is the real issue.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you have strong female characters on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh,
Never
well,
seen that
let's
show.
just not even talk
But
about
they're
that.
the, I mean,
That's
it
a show.
is getting
Agents of
better, but
S.H.I.E.L.D.
it's still the exception,
It's a
not the
different
rule.
show.
Like that's
It's the
the thing.
exception and not
Yeah.
the rule. Absolutely.
Better.
Late
I'm
night.
about to jump you. I love that show. What are you doing? What are you
Agents of
doing?
S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Show's terrible.
Uh-oh.
God.
That was her misogynist alarm.
Yeah, no, Cat's
It's
Cat's Planned Parenthood.
misogynist o'clock.
Yeah, it's we have to. I'm afraid that does mean we're ending the show.
www.misogynist.o'clock.net.
All right, guys. As someone said a long time ago, men are from Venus and women are from Mars, or the other way around. I don't really give a shit. I don't like talking about it. But we just did it for an hour, and so that's what we do here. You break down barriers, and I think we just hit some with a hammer and nothing happened. But so that's totally fine. No, I agree with everybody and nobody. And I will say this is the brighter side signing off. I'm Ed Larson at Eddie Tunes, at Seena Jon, at Amber Smelson. Kat, what's your Twitter?
Cat Timpf, cat with a K, Cat Timpf, Timpf.
And what do you want to promote? Anything? Do you care?
Greg Gutfeld Show, 10 p.m. Sunday nights.
Fuck yeah. And
It's
Louie
the-
Bee?
yeah.
Yeah, my Twitter is at Louie Bee 1. I
One the number or spell it out?
one the number
Okay.
at Louie Bee LOUIEBEE like the insect. And I have my own podcast called The Crotch Shot Radio Show, which you can listen to on
I think I will.
on iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Stitcher, and iTunes, and it's not an upskirt shot. It's like a kick. It's not. I didn't
kick
name
to
it.
the nuts.
It's a kick to the nuts. Like
Not a picture of a pussy. We got
Because it's
it.
a frontal attack. It's a frontal attack that you do to someone bigger than you.
Okay.
Have you ever done an upfront Scott underskirt shot though?
No, hell no.
Why would he admit it if he
What
did?
the fuck?
I've seen dudes do that though. They take a camera and they pull it out. And
Slap him in the
No.
face and call the cops. For
I saw
Christ's
it
sake.
online.
I mean,
Everyone
look.
be rational. Use your brain to
I mean,
feel.
I mean, to give everyone hope. I wish Mulala Yousafzai was one of my family members because I would kill the
Yeah.
motherfuckers that try to kill her.
Yeah.
And on my bucket list is if I'm like walking around in my neighborhood, I see a woman being sexually assaulted, I'm going after the motherfucker.
That's
Well,
good.
Louis,
No, but that shouldn't be like on your bucket list, though.
I want to be a
Someone still has to be assaulted.
I want to be a superhero.
Louis, we went.
Yeah, she has to be assaulted, but I
All
want to
right,
be a
guys.
superhero.
All right.
He says.
We're over an hour. I'm
Yeah.
cutting it off.
America.
Thank you, everybody.
Monday,
Louis,
10/26. Come see Murder Fist with the Undone
Oh,
Sweaters
yeah.
at Mercury Lounge and the Reformed Whores and the Cowmen. And we're going to hear from the Reformed Whores right now. They have a great song about catcalling. It's called Karate. Go to the iTunes there, Seena, if you don't mind. It's already highlighted for you. Play that shit and let it play through. And you guys have a good one. We love you guys. And keep listening. And thank you for my guests, our guests. They're coming in. And I love you, Amber. I love you, Seena. And we'll talk to you real soon.
Some days I feel like a beauty queen, walking down the street waving hardly at people I don't know.